Listen, if there's one truth, it's that Polish people just don't play around.
Dawaj, Marek. Dawaj, Marek, to już się kameruje! Jadą, świry, jadą!
Oh, you want to harass that young woman that could be my mother, my sister, my aunt, my wife? Get the hell out of here! As right now, that's the type of energy I think we need more than ever, as Western civilization has been directly under attack, and there's a very nuanced, crazy conversation happening right now that is being led by a lot of right-wingers that are actually saying the quiet parts out loud that they were too afraid to say a few years ago. We, of course, weren't. We've been talking about this problem for a very long time, as some people now are even going as far as to call for a witch hunt. Will that witch hunt actually happen? Well, I think first we're going to have a discussion here. And unless this larger problem is rectified, there's going to be some larger escalatory situations that do not look good for the future of this country, as well as a lot of the race relations. Now, there's a nuanced conversation, especially when it comes to race relations and the racial component of this topic, as there's a lot of crime statistics that I think are worth pointing out and talking about that a lot of people are too afraid to mention here. But I think if we could mention it in an honest, earnest way, it is worth having that discussion. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more imperative than ever. As, of course, we have to understand, we only accept the society that we allow. And if we allow a society where people are just routinely, randomly victimized, especially because of the color of their skin, by the way, there was a larger concerted effort to censor all of this, and only because of the online internet kind of personalities out there are we actually hearing about it. If you appreciate us being one of those voices, subscribe, click the notification button, as of course we greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us. As now, some people are using this situation to meme. I think it's a little bit inappropriate to meme, specifically with just how absolutely insane coverage of this has been by the mainstream media. For 2 weeks now, they finally started to pick up the story, and the story now is about, it's about all the MAGAs. All these bad MAGA people. You know who's really in charge here? These MAGA people and surveillance cameras. What? Or what? Are you kidding me? Now listen. These events that are being highly emotionalized, which, listen, if the other side's going to do it, we're going to do it too. I'm not a big fan of emotionalizing a lot of these kind of individual type of incidences and moments personally. But when it comes to them doing it on a false reality, there needs to be a kind of wake-up moment to the real reality of the situation, which is far more sinister, which is far more dangerous, which is far more egregious, which is far more of a threat against you, that I think people need to realize in order to have a priority of safety, have a priority of well-being. As Tanya Pasobic writes, it took 2 weeks for the story to go viral because it doesn't fit the corporate media narrative. Yeah, it doesn't. The White House now is officially responding to this. And when we look at Jack Pasobic, he had some very good pointed comments about this as new video has just been released.
Because it is about the millions of times throughout our society where these interactions take place on a daily basis, and men submit because they say, oh, just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Well, at what point are men going to step up? When your little girls are being stabbed to death for riding a train in Charlotte? Or at that point, are you going to step up and say no more? Or maybe you just say no from the very start.
Yeah, as Donald Trump had some statements about this, we're going to be playing here in a little bit. As now we're getting more tidbits of the video. We got a little bit of the video, which went viral, by the way. Again, this is the kind of component of advocacy that we have to understand works here. And this is why the corporate media over and over and over again, nonstop in a religious fervor, not only gave George Floyd four golden caskets and made it the key issue of our time in order to enrage a population, but they deliberately were playing videos of the life draining away from George Floyd's eyes, right? Traumatic video, horrible video. Like seeing someone pass away with a knee on their head, whatever you might think about that incident or the facts surrounding it, that image was extremely powerful. Now, we only got little tidbits of this young Ukrainian refugee who fled war only to be essentially meet her end at the demise of some people would say diversity, equity, and woke social justice warrior causes. All right. Now we got another part of that video where you see this career criminal who's been arrested 14 times saying, quote, "I got that white girl," after he plunged a knife into her neck. There's a racial component aspect to this. As some people are saying, where's the hate crime charges, right? There's a lot of hate crime charges against white people. Where's the hate crime charges against black people? Why don't those stick here? As we're getting new insights into the mayor of this democratically, this is the city councilwoman, and some of their political leadership has led up to this particular situation. Now, before talking about this and a lot more, we just wanted to remind people we're actually doing a self-defense range day, September 20th. But before talking about that, we wanted to tell you about, you want to be there, sign up to lookunfiltered.com, but we wanted to tell you about the bestpoliticalshorts.com. And again, memes, messaging, imagery matters, right? And there's been a huge concerted effort to promote certain imagery and hide certain imagery, right? We're seeing the inverse of reality here. And this is one of the reasons why I speak out as much as I do, and I wear t-shirts like the one that I'm wearing right now. It's supposed to be a funny t-shirt. It's supposed to make people laugh. If I'm going to make people laugh, I want to make them think as well. And I like doing that. I like that Bill Hicks form of humor and comedy. And if you do too, check out the bestpoliticalshorts.com. This is how you keep our independent media organization afloat here. It's been censored multiple times. We had multiple shirts censored because they were just too edgy. We have a lot of really incredible, fun t-shirts that you can't get anywhere else other than the bestpoliticalshirts.com. There's a lot of people imitating us. There's a lot of people just stealing our designs and launching it and like tweeting underneath me. Like, hey, no, you get the shirt here. Be careful. Get it from the original source, because we make sure we have the best quality control right now. There's issues with quality control with a previous company we had. We'd no longer have those issues. And we have to understand here that we make sure that we have a great product now. And it is a product that is essentially able to allow you to do lazy forms of activism, which I cannot recommend enough. And again, you can just keep scrolling and scrolling. You're going to find a lot of really fun, cool, edgy designs here that are meant to, of course, make you think, that are meant to, of course, create a situation where you're able to be the talk of the town and start some very interesting conversations that I think are needed now more than ever. TheBestPoliticalShorts.com. Get it, get active, get engaged. Listen, I think now's the time more than ever to raise up voices that are logical, that are perceptive, and that are not afraid to tell the truth. Lots of people have been too afraid to tell the truth, especially in the right-wing media space here. Now, another component to this that people are highlighting is that there's other passengers there. As this woman just got, stabbed, they literally are just walking away, or they're just continuing to sit there as the entire situation just unfolds. One black passenger walks away, another woman just kind of looks by, and then she kind of goes back to her phone, and she's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Where's the humanity? Where's the, hey, are you okay? Hey, what's going on? Hey, you're bleeding. Hey, let me try to stop the bleeding. Maybe it was too late already, but who knows? As I think a lot of this has to play in part with a dehumanization effort, as there's been a big concerted effort in the entertainment industry, in the adult industry, in the music industry, to almost everywhere you look now. Every TV commercial, every TV show, every movie meant to dehumanize and meant to make white guys specifically look evil, look bad, look like trash. And there has been, especially during the BLM movement, a larger dehumanization effort that needs to be exposed, that says white people are inferior, white people are fat, stupid, dumb, and they are the reason why all the horrible things in your life are happening right now. You don't need to take responsibility. You need reparations from those evil white people, right? And when you look at this agenda and how it's just being sold to us and how it's being laid out to us, right? You see it through tragic events like this that shine a light on it, that I think deserve a shining light of it more than ever. And whatever you might say about this administration, some people would say that this is their kind of perfect opportunity for their kind of law and order kind of initiative, and whatever you might think about that, they're at least bringing it up and talking about it and highlighting it in a raw, unfiltered way where other administrations will be too afraid to do so. As the White House officially released this statement today.
In shoplifting, Brown had previously served 5 years in prison for a robbery with a deadly weapon charge, and he had also forfeited bonds 3 different times, twice in 2014 and once in 2023. Despite all of this past documented criminal history, when Brown was arrested yet again in January of this past year, a Democrat judge, I will add, was a strong supporter of former Vice President Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, by the way, donated to the jail fund for BLM rioters that burned down cities and took the lives of 36 people. All right? Kamala Harris was the BLM candidate. All right? She was a prosecutor, by the way, hiding evidence with people from death row. Evil person.
Released this insane criminal once again without requiring him to pay any bail. He simply had to sign a written promise to return for his court hearing. Think about how crazy it is to ask a career criminal, someone who by definition repeatedly breaks the law, to just sign a written promise and come back again another day. This is madness. This monster should have been locked up, and Arena should still be alive.
Yeah, and he would have been. As of course we have to understand, this image was never meant to go viral. This image right here, showing the fear, the confusion, the pain, the suffering, as a person says, I got that white girl. That highlights a crescendo-like moment in this country that I think there's no going back from. ABC News is reporting, oh yeah, Charlotte, don't worry, the mayor, we're gonna now have increased security, effective immediately. As a lot of people are like, how about you just stop letting these career criminals off? And why did they get off? Well, you look at what George Soros was doing, a man that Donald Trump hinted at potentially going to jail soon, which in my opinion should, as we have Elon Musk previously saying, Soros realized that you don't actually need to change the laws. You just need to change how they're enforced. He's doing things that erode the fabric of civilization. Yeah. And Mike Cernovich has some interesting things to say about this. Again, ADL till, oh my goodness, like the levels of propaganda, the levels of trash that we have to deal with, the level of dehumanization efforts. And as white people become more of a minority, expect that to go up, by the way, because whites are becoming a minority group. As soon as they become a minority, they usually get targeted and harassed. Look what happened in South Africa. Look what happened in many other places around the world. That's going to happen here. And this is the last cry. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Unless we're able to turn this around. Now, how do we turn this around? That's a conversation that I believe deserves a little bit more of a nuanced conversation, as now people are highlighting footage of a Democratic councilwoman celebrating her 50th birthday, which she is being accused of using $124,000 of COVID relief funds to pay for. She's running for a re-election. So that's the political leadership. Of these jurisdictions. Interesting. Donald Trump had more pointed statements to talk about this. Obviously, this is something that he's addressing in a very serious tone and in a serious manner. And there's a reason, whether they say it out loud or not, why Donald Trump is showing the picture of the perpetrator And he's showing a picture of the victim.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are.
Now, we're going to start stabbing random people. That's pretty vicious. But let's be honest with ourselves. There are criminal elements in this country that have been aided and abetted by this kind of like patty cake treatment that they've been receiving. And I think they know exactly what they're doing because there's a multifaceted agenda. It's like criminal justice reform, but also promote Black Lives Matter, but also promote it in the music industry and the entertainment industry, adult industry as well. Sick, sinister stuff happening there. And all that sick, sinister stuff that's being kind of promoted on Western civilization, on a lot of these people, is done in a way where it not just dehumanizes, but degrades, destroys, and creates a situation where whites are exacerbatedly becoming more of a minority. That's the agenda, that's the goal, and that's what's being done here. How will Donald Trump respond to this? So far, strong words, important words that I think break down this agenda and say enough is enough.
It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia.
My approach is different. Allow people to defend themselves. There's a reason I teach defensive classes. Allow people to carry firearms. Allow people to have a right to say, no, enough is enough. I'm not going to be a victim anymore.
Capital of America.
That's really how you deal with it, and that's how you safeguard us for the future, right? Relying on an overwhelming government, especially when a left-wing government is going to come in, they're just going to, again, do what they did before and use that same level of federal government in order to attack you.
America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe.
Personally, I just want independence from big government. But again, we're in a weird situation where our civilization, our people, our heritage, our culture, our backgrounds are being directly attacked. And a lot of people are given two choices. You're like this in Scotland, and then you go to jail. Or like this in a disarmed place where you have tyranny. Absolute top-notch tyranny, as people are not allowed to defend themselves, which is crazy. Now, Ben Shapiro actually said something that I actually agree with. Matt Walsh, I don't think we have time to play it, though. Matt Walsh says, quote, I want a witch hunt. I want every judge and DA who let this monster walk free arrested. I want them dragged in front of cameras in chains. I want their lives destroyed. Very strong words here. And when we look at the kind of racial criminal component here, a lot of the Democrats in their efforts to, quote, combat racism really just created a lot more racism because they allowed a lot of the criminals to run free. And now the conversation is where a lot of people are actually listening to the racists. And a lot of people are like, well, if you're racist, your lives could be saved here. Are they right for saying that? It's, of course, now the crime statistics are coming out as it's coming out that as a white person, you are 31 times more likely to be victimized by a black person than the other way around. But we're being told by BLM and the corporate media, those white guys, white police officers, they're a threat against black men. No, black men are actually the biggest threat against black men, by the way. Statistically, they shoot and kill each other at a larger level. If you're a black person, you're like, yeah, why are we allowing the worst elements of my people, of my race, to be perpetrated, to get away with this stuff, which is bringing unwanted pressure and heat and attention on all of us? You could deal with this situation just by simply dealing with the sociopathic criminal elements of our society. And they deserved to be dealt with, as we even have a lot of people coming out and specifically talking about, hey, the average homicide suspect commits 11 crimes prior to them committing a homicide. A lot of the crimes are committed by sociopaths, just genetically insane, unhinged people. Now, this is the statistics that are out there. The FBI statistics are skewed, by the way, in favor of blacks, as of course black people are being labeled white. To skew the statistics that much more. All right? What are the real statistics? Can we get some real answers? Because look, if you're a criminal, and some police departments are told you can't arrest black people, you're gonna look racist. If you're only allowing more criminals to be black men. That's the kind of racist, insane bigotry of the left that I think needs to be addressed, that I think we need to have a real conversation on. And if you agree, share this video. Thank you so much for purchasing t-shirt. Thank you so much for, and again, we got short sleeves, long sleeves, we got it all. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. I want to be here for you guys supporting independent media, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more beautiful and amazing human beings here on youtube.com/wearechanged.